Good evening and welcome to Look North. Our top story tonight. The parents skipping meals to feed their children. One Yorkshire charity says it's helping a growing number of families in severe food poverty.
Families are struggling to feed their children, they're struggling to clothe them, they're struggling to keep them clean, and they're certainly struggling to keep them warm.
We'll find out how charity volunteers are trying to help. Also tonight, a North Yorkshire businessman has been freed from his kidnappers in Ecuador. How would you feel about a pre-loved present? We meet the people rummaging in second-hand shops for Christmas gifts. And a Yorkshire success at Sports Personality of the Year.
A very windy spell of weather to come in the next few days. There is a Met Office warning in place from midnight tonight for gales, which will be locally severe. Join me for the very latest.
Good evening, thanks for your company. A charity based in Leeds says the number of families it's helping who are living in severe food poverty has trebled in the past 18 months. Flourishing Families has worked with more than 800 people in the last school year, and 3/4 of those now report having to skip meals because they can't afford food. Our investigations reporter, Sabir Pervez, has spent some time with their volunteers.
Oh, hi Amanda, how are you doing?
Hi Kate, I'm fine.
Amanda's from Bramley in Leeds and she's preparing for Christmas with her young son. But times are hard. This year there are no luxury items on the Christmas list. Amanda's having to sacrifice her basic needs to put her family first.
Sometimes, you know, I have to go without food for my son to have.
How often are you having to do that?
Like once or twice a week.
See you soon. Bye.
Amanda's not the only parent skipping meals this winter to make sure her child doesn't go to bed hungry. Flourishing Families helps families like Amanda's. The demand for their services has grown massively since they began working in Leeds 6 years ago. And this year is the worst they've ever seen.
It's often the case that you can drive round or walk round a place and it appears on the surface that everything is okay, but actually poverty can be a really hidden issue. Over these last 6 years, it's got worse and worse, and now there's the perfect storm of post-COVID, of high inflation, of the cost of living crisis. It's absolutely desperate for many of these families.
46. 47.
It's estimated around 1 in 5 children will go without fresh food, a warm home or a celebration this Christmas. So Flourishing Families are preparing hampers to ensure as many people as possible can enjoy the festive season.
So today we're going to be making curried mince, and we've got a bag of rice for you to take home to have with it, and a cucumber and bag of tomatoes as well.
The charity also offers weekly family cookery clubs in primary schools across Leeds. The aim is simple: to teach healthy, affordable recipes that can be repeated at home.
Yeah, we have to cut back on everything, so yeah. As gas and electric runs out on a daily basis, we are struggling at home, but thanks to these we get a lot of help.
I feel quite excited because I love learning how to cook, so I could help with my mum at home.
In these sessions and through their emergency interventions, the charity are seeing firsthand how desperate the situation is, and they're really worried about the future.
In every single cookery club, I do come across a family where either the parent hasn't managed to eat because they can't afford it, or the child's had to skip breakfast, or they've just said, look, I desperately need some help. Is there anything that you can do? My biggest concern is that kids are going to starve this winter, and that they're not going to... Sorry, I think I'm actually going to cry. They're not going to have enough food to eat because the cost of living crisis, it hasn't gone away.
People are struggling to pay their bills and put food on the table across our region, but some communities are disproportionately affected. According to a report released by the Joseph Rowntree Foundation earlier this year, around half of all people living in households headed by someone of Bangladeshi ethnicity were living in poverty in 2020 and 2021. So I've come to Manningham in Bradford, where there's a sizable Bangladeshi community, to find out why.
Salma Khatoon dedicates the majority of her time serving her community here in Manningham. She believes the dynamics of the family system is making it difficult for some.
Bangladeshi families are struggling because mostly the male are working and they're working in a manual labor job like taxis, restaurant, and people think if you go for help and go to food bank and things like that, there's a stigma going around. I'm worried that if they don't get educated and get help, they'll never get out of the manual job and they'll never get out of poverty.
This centre is crucial in helping the Bangladeshi community. There's a stigma attached to asking for financial help. But this, like so many other community centres, has become a safe space in the midst of a storm that is growing in intensity. The worry is, whilst they try to save as many families as they can, there are many more waiting to be helped. Sbir Pervez, BBC Look North.
Next this evening, a North Yorkshire businessman who was kidnapped in Ecuador has been released. Colin Armstrong, who owns the Forbidden Corner visitor attraction near Leyburn, has been found safe and well by police in South America. Well, Abby Jayola joins me live in the studio with the latest. Just remind us, Abby, what's happened here?
Well, Mr Armstrong is well known in North Yorkshire. He created the Forbidden Garden and he owns the Tuckgill estate. But he also has extensive business interests in Ecuador. He runs a company called AgriPac, which is an agricultural company. It was reported that he was kidnapped on Saturday from a farm he owns in Ecuador alongside his partner by 15 men who were dressed as police officers, which obviously sparked huge concern for his well-being, and police were obviously investigating that.
So what do we know about how he was found then?
Well, we don't know much about what happened while he was in captivity or where he was held, and we don't know anything about the people who abducted him. Police said today that they found him by a roadside in South America, but they released this picture and you can see his face is blurred, which saved him, but he does appear to be smiling. They say he's safe and he's healthy. His family back in North Yorkshire released a statement saying they're delighted that he's safe and well and that he will be spending Christmas in South America with his family. And the police in Ecuador have said that 9 people have been arrested in connection with the kidnap.
Abby, thanks for the update. 2 drivers have been arrested after a woman was knocked down and killed on a Pelican crossing in Bradford. 2 cars were travelling alongside each other in Manchester Road last night when the woman, who was in her 40s, was hit. One of the cars then smashed into some railings. Police want to hear from any witnesses who saw the crash. Junior doctors have started a 3-day strike in a dispute over pay after 5 weeks of negotiations failed to reach an agreement. This picket line outside Leeds General Infirmary is one of 3 across Yorkshire. As before, our region's hospitals say they'll prioritise urgent and emergency care as consultants step in to cover for junior doctors, who make up 50% of the medical workforce. The police watchdog says it's investigating a senior North Yorkshire police officer over allegations they provided misleading information to avoid being sanctioned for a speeding offence. The Independent Office for Police Conduct says the officer has been suspended from duty. The investigation will look into potential misconduct in public office, improper exercise of police powers and intent to pervert the course of justice. Union members have been demonstrating outside Sheffield Town Hall today in a row over equal pay. The GMB says the City Council's job allocation scheme means women are being underpaid by thousands of pounds, and Christmas is an ideal time for councillors to fix that. Tom Ingle reports.
What do we want? Equal pay! When do we want it? Now!
Amid the chatter of shoppers and the clatter of the Christmas market, a very pointed, festive message from the GMB. Members were rallying outside the town hall, asking for fair pay for women.
So we're here today to demonstrate for equal pay for women workers in Sheffield City Council. The protest is that women are not getting the same opportunity to score points, which equals pay, through the allocation scheme that Sheffield City Council use.
So what are you asking Sheffield City Council to do?
I want them to put right what's wrong, so a new job evaluation scheme and some redress for the women that have been underpaid.
So back pay and equal pay?
Yes.
To make sure their Christmas wish was heard by councillors who might have missed the protest, the union asked shoppers to sign a giant Christmas card. They say their campaign could affect thousands of council workers, both men and women, to the tune of thousands of pounds. We've asked Sheffield City Council to respond to those claims, but so far, any message must have been caught up in the Christmas post. Tom Ingle, BBC Look North, Sheffield.
Now, the BBC has contacted Sheffield City Council about this and we're waiting for a response. Now, have you finished your Christmas shopping yet? If not, then it's not too late to make this a Thriftmas. Yes, that's a thrifty Christmas. Buying second-hand gifts is becoming more popular, according to charities, with some families even insisting on it. Olivia Richwald has this.
Every year, Sophie's family from Otley enjoy a pre-loved Christmas. The money they save buying second-hand gifts is spent on outings like ice skating or the theatre.
In previous years, I've had some really great presents from my family, sort of that are very aligned to what I'm about to start doing. So in the years when I was about to start working, I got some really good office clothes from my sister, who is a few years older, that she'd spent a lot of time searching for on Depop. In other years, I've really liked the presents that a few of my siblings have done for the whole family. So they've gifted some really nice vintage board games that aren't in production anymore.
This year, Sophie has found her siblings clothing and books and her mum a vintage clock. Apologies to them if they're watching Look North right now. Oxfam says in a recent survey of 3,000 shoppers, a third of people were choosing pre-owned gifts. But would you be happy to get a second-hand surprise under the tree?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's all recycling, isn't it? Yeah.
As long as it's, they put the thought into what they've bought, then that's the main thing, really, isn't it?
There was a thing in the paper about someone buying a Henry Moore drawing in a charity shop and they sold it for £25,000, so maybe they'll give me a piece of art.
On the 6th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
This Shipley charity shop has certainly seen several shoppers splurging.
People are very savvy these days and are looking for good quality, good value. Just recently we put a load of gift sets out and they sold within 24 hours, so that person had a very lucky find.
What are people looking for in terms of Christmas presents, do you think?
Anything that is quite quirky, funny, something that, gives them a moment to have a laugh.
Hannah is on the hunt for some lovely fabric.
My real passion is making bears from recycled fabrics.
What makes a good teddy bear fabric? What are you looking for?
Anything that really catches my eye, so anything sparkly or tweeds are really good.
So, if you're searching for a secret Santa, a stocking filler or a special surprise, second-hand not only saves money, but it's sustainable too. Olivia Richwald, BBC Look North, Shipley.
Such a good idea, isn't it? Well, earlier I spoke to Lorna Fallon, Director of Retail from Oxfam, and asked what they're noticing about people's enthusiasm for pre-loved presents.
We've seen an increase in Oxfam of people looking to shop second-hand for their Christmas gifts this year. We conducted research with 3,000 people, and compared to the same group of people 2 years ago, we've seen an 8% increase in people shopping second-hand this year.
Obviously, it might be to save a bit of cash, but what are the other benefits?
I think the people looking to stretch their budget further is the prime reason for people shopping second-hand this year, but also concerns about the environment.
Now, I've probably bought more than half of my little girl's presents second-hand. She's 3 years old. But I don't know if I would be as comfortable buying the adult second-hand presents. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but do you think there's still a risk that someone might find it offensive?
Well, our research tells us that a third of people are open to receiving a second-hand gift. And we're seeing younger people, so 74% of our respondents are between 18 and 24, and they are more open to giving and receiving second-hand gifts. So definitely it's the younger generation leading the way.
OK, I'll remember that for next year. Have you got any tips for successful second-hand shopping then?
Yeah, I think enjoy the hunt. Second-hand gifts and shopping in charity shops is a great way to find something that's unique and something that evokes memories and nostalgia. So really check out your local charity shops. They're a real treasure trove of unique finds and enjoy the thrill of treasure seeking as well.
You make it sound very exciting. Thank you very much, Lorna. Have a lovely Christmas.
Thank you. Bye.
Guide dogs can be life-changing for those with sight loss, often providing confidence and independence. Well, 72-year-old Anne Ruddick from North Yorkshire knows the impact better than anyone. Anne was partnered with her first dog, Jasper, in 1973 and is now celebrating the amazing 6 guide dogs she's worked with over the past 50 years. Well, I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Anne and guide dog trainer Kat. Thank you both for joining us. Anne, tell me how having these dogs has changed your life.
Well, when I was young, having never had sight, I learnt to use a cane and get around. And I think I didn't have a problem with that. But as soon as I started working with the dog, within the first week of working with the dog, I suddenly had this light bulb moment where I knew that working out on the streets with the dog was the right thing for me. It gave me freedom to walk on my own, and obviously independence to go wherever I wanted to go to.
Now this is Millie. She's lovely and very relaxed, and she's your 6th dog. How have they all? How do they compare?
Oh,
hello, you're awake now. She knows we're talking about it.
They're all so different. I mean, firstly, I've had 2 Labradors, 2 Lab Retriever crosses and 2 Retrievers, which is what Millie is. She's a Golden Retriever. And those breeds are different personalities, but the dogs have been so different.
So Kat, are those the kind of breeds that you look for?
They're the main breeds that guide dogs use, crosses of sort of in between. Mainly for their size, their sort of willingness to work. They've proven to make good guide dogs. You won't necessarily want a cockapoo at the end of your harness, dragging him all over everywhere. And they just have proven to be really good workers.
And what do they do to assist people then? What would their list of jobs be?
Oh, endless, I think. They would take people on a safe route when they are out. They will work in a straight line, finding the curb edge. They will stop at a curb edge to indicate to the owner that they've reached the road. Crossing the road, they will then, in some cases, indicate the up curb, so the guide dog owner isn't going to stumble or fall up the up curb. Take them around any obstacles, wiggly bins that people leave out, that kind of thing.
Very busy lives.
Yes.
How do you draw a distinction, Anne, between Millie being your working dog and then your pet as well? Because presumably she's a pet at the end of the day.
Yeah, she is. But as soon as the harness goes on, which clearly she's got on now, once she's got that on, she knows that's work. So I always think they're a bit like Jekyll and Hyde dogs, where they know the difference. And the bigger you make that gap of working and relaxation and play, then to me the better they will work.
It's been lovely to meet you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, Millie really was gorgeous. Now, it's one of the glitziest nights in the sporting calendar, the BBC Sports Personality of the Year Awards. England goalkeeper Mary Earps won the main award, but the co-founder of a small but mighty sports club in Sheffield also got his moment in the limelight. Des Smith was presented with the Unsung Hero Award during the live TV show for his voluntary work with the Sheffield Caribbean Sports Club. Our sports reporter Sally Hurst was there, and here's how the night unfolded.
This is an event where sports stars take the night off and indulge in a little glamour, fun and celebration.
When you see it on TV, you always get a bit of an idea of it, but it's only when you really get here you get the scale of how big it is.
It's always nice to get here and I think just reflect on the whole year. The years seem to be going quicker and quicker, and next year's a big one. So yeah, just going to enjoy tonight and celebrate everyone's victories.
We are here behind the scenes at the BBC Sports Personality of the Year. Of course, this is the event that celebrates those big sporting moments from the past 12 months. But there is one category that celebrates unsung heroes, those people who keep sports clubs going throughout the year, up and down the country.
And making his way down the red carpet is our region's nominee, Des Smith from the Sheffield Caribbean Sports Club. What began in the 1960s as a safe space for Windrush kids to take part in cricket has grown into an inclusive club open to everyone in the local community.
Well, it's very exciting, really, and it simply just brightens everywhere, and there's so many smiling faces around, it just makes me very, very happy and very, very privileged, really.
7 p.m. and the guests are in their seats in the Salford studio. The show is live.
Well, what a way to get the party started for our 70th show.
And then the 15 nominees for the Unsung Hero Award are ushered onto the big stage.
And the Unsung Hero Award goes to Desmond Smith.
After his big moment in the spotlight, Des comes backstage to reflect on an evening full of surprises.
This is going to be a night that you're going to remember for a long time, isn't it, Des?
Will be, yeah. But I don't know, will I be able to sleep tonight? But, but I do hope I get some sleep. But really, it's a total surprise. And I say it's one for, not for me, it's for all the people I've worked with and all the people I am still working with. Because if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be here.
Well done. Congratulations on your award. It's very well deserved. I think you get to party now, don't you?
Well, yes, I'm looking forward to that. I've been trying to keep sober all day, but I'll try and have a pint or two later on.
Congratulations again. Well done, Des.
Thank you very much.
I really hope you did get time to party. Now, we know it's the most wonderful time of the year, but creating that magic can be expensive, especially if you've got a large family who all want to visit Father Christmas. Well, bearing that in mind, a primary school in Leeds has created its own winter wonderland so that local families can experience a festive atmosphere without breaking the bank. Well, Heidi Tomlinson is there for us this evening, treating herself to a marshmallow. Hi there, Heidi.
Hi, Keely. Now, I haven't felt festive until this very moment. Welcome to Grimesdyke Primary School. They're having their Christmas event. It's so festive here. I can smell popcorn. We've been toasting some marshmallows. There's a beautiful winter wonderland walk. Just beyond the fence there, we can see all the sparkly lights. And it's the place to be because within 15 minutes of the doors opening, over 300 people arrived. Well, the head teacher, Louise Hill, is here now. Why was it important to you to create a night like this, Louise?
Well, we use our grounds extensively with the children. We have huge grounds, but we wanted to do something for the community that was low cost, but was fun and was festive and involved as many people as it possibly could.
And it's a very special walk, isn't it? Just beyond the fence here. Tell me about that.
So we've lit up our woodland. We have our own woodland. We have fairy lights everywhere, and we have lots of little woodland gnomes hiding amongst the trees for the children to find, which we are going to sell later for school funds, but the children have found it magical looking for them.
And one of the priorities, if not the priority, is to make it cost effective so everyone can afford it.
Yeah. We've got loads of games. Most of our games are 20 pence to play. There's games all over the place. They can win big prizes with a ticket. So lots of children are going home laden with prizes, which is brilliant.
On that subject, games, Louise, thanks ever so much. Now, I must tell you about this game that I've spotted tonight. My favourite Christmas game ever. It's called Brussels or Ball, isn't it, Lucas?
Yeah.
So you've got to decide what you're picking out of this basket. What do you think that is?
A ball.
A ball. You open it while I talk to Lucas about what his favourite thing's been tonight.
So, my favourite bit has been, like, you get to spend time with your family and it's only cheap, like it's 20 people a game and you can win lots of prizes.
Fantastic, Lucas. Archie, what did you get?
I got some prizes.
What did you get? You got a ball. Did you say it was going to be a ball?
Yeah.
Oh, you get to keep it. Well done. and parents here, what do you make of the evening? The teachers have gone all out, haven't they?
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. They did this last year and same again this year. Loads more people. It's just great and kids love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, it really brings the community together. The teachers obviously giving up the spare time, bringing them through the door. And again, it's one of those, it's not costing lots of money. Enjoy Christmas, and I think everyone's walked out with a smile on their face.
Thanks ever so much. But if you like what you see, I'm afraid it is just drawing to a close. But they are saying they're going to put the same light on again next year, make it bigger and better.
She's had some of that festive sherry already, hasn't she? Now, the latest episode of Rob Burrows' podcast 7 features some members of the royal family. The pair shared their thoughts on the BBC Sports Personality of the Year Awards with Zara and a former winner, who is, of course, a former winner. Chatting with Mike and Zara Tyndall, the royal couple let Rob and his wife Lindsay in on a couple of family secrets, including a nickname they have for the Prince of Wales.
For the Prince of Wales, he is known as One Pipe Willie. He is known to me as One Pipe Willie because he's not the best of drinkers, coming from a sport where it's built on the social aspect and a couple of beers being sunk quite often. So yeah, that is one that I will definitely give away for the Prince of Wales. 1 pint Willie. There you go. It's out there now. Sorry, sorry, sir.
So do have a listen to the full episode and subscribe now to 7. They're in trouble now, aren't they? A bit like you now. 1 pint, Paul.
Well, only if I'm buying. I'll drink more than that.
That's about right.
Drink more than that if it's your round. Let's have a look at Scarborough this morning. It was a struggle to get some sunshine this morning, but that's just before sunrise. But go further west. This sums it up across the Pennines. Look at Slowett. That tells you all you need to know, and there's quite a bit of patchy rain and drizzle to come across the Pennines, and strong winds. That's certainly the feature of the weather, not just in the next 24 hours, but also in the lead up to Christmas. Some very strong winds to come. If you've got any pictures, these are your addresses. So the Met Office have got a warning in place. It's from midnight tonight and it lasts until 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. Severe gales in places, so we're talking 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts, but in exposure we'll be looking at around 70 miles an hour. That's from midnight tonight. You can tell why. Look at the number of isobars on here, and even as we run the sequence into the weekend, there's still plenty of isobars, so it's windy throughout. Patchy rain in the west, the best of any brighter spells always further east. At the moment, Christmas Day looks mostly dry with some sunshine. There's a radar picture. Still some rain and drizzle in the Slowett area right across the Pennines. So as we run the sequence through this evening and overnight, there'll be a lot of cloud. That rain and drizzle gathers further across Pennine areas, bits and pieces getting further east. Now, the black symbols I've put on the chart tonight, these are the average gusts. So we're already 55 miles an hour, but you can add 10 to 15 to that in exposure to the west. A very mild night to come. Tomorrow's high water time, Scarborough 11:15, Bridlington at 11:40. So a wild commute in the morning with those severe gales, rain and drizzle sinking away southwards. We'll see a scattering of showers following, but generally it's a brighter picture developing, especially in the afternoon. The best of the sunshine across eastern parts of our region. Again, I've put the black gust arrows in, and even by the end of the afternoon we're looking at sort of 58 to 60 miles an hour. Locally 70 in exposure. Temperatures around 11 or 12. That's mild for December, but it won't feel like that with the strength of winds. So a mixed outlook. There'll be a lot of cloud at times into the Christmas weekend. Patchy rain mainly in the west. A brighter start to next week, which is Christmas Day. But look, these are the gusts again, staying very windy throughout the period. That's the forecast.
Thank you very much. I just realised that pint-sized, Paul, might be better for you.
Thank you very much.
Right, that's it from us. We're back at 10:30. Come and sit down. Bye-bye.